What's up, guys? This is Justin from the Board Game Losers, and I am back with Altar Quest. This is our Chapter 6 out of Luxen's campaign, finally to the last chapter, and we're going to jump right in. So this chapter, this is where it happens, guys. We win it or we lose it. So if you've been following the series, we've gone through all the other 5 chapters. We've got Willowbanks and Gavin Ulrich as our heroes, and we're going to go through the story, get that started, and then on the heroes' turn, we'll talk a little bit about their stuff. I'm going to spend a whole lot of time on their equipment. If you've watched previous videos, you should know what they've gotten, and we'll just show their hands when they take their turn, and yeah, we'll talk about all that we need to as we go. So let's start with Chapter 6. I've got down here, I've got the book, so we're going to start reading through there. So, Chapter 6. It's right this way, Bolton says, as you cross a small bridge into a dilapidated old village. All the buildings have been razed to the ground except for a few broken walls, and the single towering castle mansion where Lork once lived still stands like a dark reminder of a more bloodthirsty time. The moon is shining on the rickety iron gate that marks the front of the ruined old mansion, leaving the rest of the building in all-consuming darkness and night fog. It says, perform the first 2 steps in normal game setup, then choose one of the following. I've already done, well, probably more than that, really, but I've already got the board laid out and all that. But we got to choose 2 options. Approach carefully from the darkest angle, or no time to waste. Ride for the gate. I'm inclined to take approach carefully, just because we've got enough stuff going on. Let's not risk it. It says, read entry 55. 55. As you approach the building under the cover of darkness, you realize that although it hides your approach perfectly, it also allows others to hide and wait in ambush. Okay. Each hero must do a green test. To each hero that fails adds a copy of Crimson Eyes to the journal and reads the following. Okay, so let's start here. So a green test. Okay. Now, the way that the testing works, so what we got to do is a test. You can see here is a test 2. So what that means is we got to get at least 2 successes to be successful. So we're going to start with Gavin, who only has a 1 score in that area. So let's hope we do some critting. And that is a fail, so he is going to get the Crimson Eyes. Willow has a 2 score in that area. So that is 2 and a focus. So she will gain that focus. But that is 2 successes, which is what we need, so she's okay. So let's see what the Crimson Eyes card does. Alright, so here's the card. So it says, Crimson Eyes, when building a lurker deck, shuffle the Gargoyle lurker card together with 3 other lurker cards. Place them on top of the lurker deck and place this card in your threat area. So let's start with that. So we're going to find the Gargoyle card out of the lurker deck, which is, okay, so right there. Okay, and then we're going to shuffle this up. All right, and boom, 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 bang, 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 bang. I'm going to take 3 other cards, 1, 2, 3. All right, and we're going to put that along with the Gargoyle. We're going to mix those together, and those will go on top. So we know in the first 4 cards of the lurker deck, there's a Gargoyle. This is for Ulrich. So each time a Gargoyle lurker is defeated, the heroes may discard 1 copy of Crimson Eyes and place the defeated Gargoyle lurker face down on top of the lurker deck. And this says activate draw lurker. So whenever we go to his turn, right? Whenever we go to Gavin's turn, this card is going to activate. So normally, like, there will only be specific things that will call for lurkers. In this case, he's going to get one every time. So we're going to put that over here with him and be very sad about that, because the lurkers are literally anything. So yeah, definitely adds a bit of flavor to what we're doing. So, read the following. You hear the scrape of stone against stone, then the screeching of unholy creatures from the gloom mixed with the low whooping of huge wings. Crimson eyes flare to life and focus. The gargoyle's gravely voice echoing, "Die, intruders." Dun, dun, dun. Okay, cool. So let's go back to here. So we took care of that. Whoa! Bolton pats his steed and swings himself out of the saddle. The bookcase on the first floor, the one edged with ivory vine work, that is your way into the catacombs. I can't go any further. My connection to her is still too strong. I can feel what it would do to me in there, and it will endanger you and your mission. I'm sorry. Then it says, if vampiric infection is in the journal, which vampiric infection is, right? Because we've actually got it over here with Ulrich. Go to 54. Wow, we were like literally just right there. It says, as you draw near to the old Morn estate, there's a throbbing in your veins, and all your teeth begin to ache. Just being around the Countess has your blood thick and burning, even though every part of you wants to tear off into the night to find something to slake this thirst. All of your senses have never been sharper, but you are sure you can keep your head about you, right? So that is a blue resist 4. Wow. Okay. Dang. All right, this is Ulrich trying to blue for it. He will need some crits. Pretty bad, to be honest. Pretty bad, to be honest. Okay, here we go. Whoop, I guess I need to put them over here. So I needed 4. Now remember, resist is kind of like a mental attack. So the resist 4 means we have a 4 that's coming at us, and we're going to reduce that number by our number of successes. Unfortunately, in this case, we were quite unsuccessful. Well, not completely unsuccessful, but he's going to take 2 damage. All right, so that is not good. So we're going to put a 2 on his there. And so he took 2 damage. We're going to start at a little bit of a disadvantage. And he's got the Crimson Eyes and took the damage. Whew, that's rough. Right before you push in the mansion, stepping through rent section of a wall and boarding, there is an echoing, monstrous call that erupts from deep within the structure. Come, the crooning voice cackles, be the first offerings to our new lord. The building itself is empty, and most of the furniture destroyed. And layered in dust and cobwebs, and it only takes you a few minutes to locate the ivory-edged bookcase Bolton described. When you're ready, all it will take is one shove, and there will be no going back. That's right. We're almost done with this, whatever happens. You slip into the passageways behind the bookcase, and in just a few uneven steps before things widen back out into the larger catacomb. Wait, sorry. It is just a few even steps before things widen back out into larger catacombs. The stench of death strikes you like a mallet, but is soon drowned out by the sour salt of spilled blood and the pungent tang of ritual incense. Winora Morn is down here, and she has already begun her dark ceremony, it seems. So the quest deck is the showdown. The threat deck is the thralls. The villain deck is Winora Morn. So obviously the quest deck and the threat deck and villain deck are thematic, right? So kind of all the decks are paired. You can do any villain you want, or any quest and enemy that you want, threat that you want, if you're just playing like a one-off. But obviously this is the thing. Okay, so that takes care of that. And the next page is what we read when we win or lose. So there you go. First things first. I'm going to roll 3d6. That's 4, because apparently I can't count. 3d6, and I'm just going to kind of count 1, 2, 3, all the way across here. And we're going to see where our starting spot is. So we got a 6, 9, so we got a 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So kind of in the edge of the map. I really kind of like to be in the center, because then you can kind of just... Right, but now I guess we're going to be kind of working our way that way-ish. Because remember, We're going to be exploring the rooms. So there's our tokens. Okay, so things about this quest. Let me read the showdown. The time has come to confront a formidable foe that threatens peace and prosperity. While you know the location of your foe, you must learn as much as you can about its strengths and weaknesses before engaging in combat. If you rush headlong into battle before knowing what you're up against, the results could be fatal. So setup is a little special. Remove each advantage card from the quest deck and randomly place one advantage card in each hero's threat area. Right. So, what are the advantages? The advantage cards. Glad you asked. Here are the advantage cards. Gavin's, Willow's. So basically, these are. It says while this card is in the threat area, the villain activates at the start of the hero turn, as well as during the villain turn. So essentially, until we get rid of these, the villain is going to activate twice. How do we get rid of it? I'm glad you asked. If you didn't, I'm going to tell you. So, one of the actions that we can take, if you're within range of a minion that has not been questioned, you may draw one card from the question deck, then place one quest token on that minion. So basically, there's a deck of these cards, and I will you can see they're like Clever Trap. Essentially, they're tests, right? And it says for each success, place one progress on the advantage card in your threat area. So these, we're just going to keep doing these for each minion we run into. And once we get 10 progress on each of these cards, those cards go away. But until we do that, she's going to activate twice. What does that mean? Well, it means, number one, we hope for some really good rolls. Hopefully we'll pull cards that are best for the stats we have and not our lower stats. But it means that we're definitely going to have to do like lots of searching, right, for the rooms in order to kind of get that number down. So that's the first thing. And then on the other side, if the villain is defeated and the altar is in a revealed room, the heroes win the game. So we have to defeat her. We have to find the altar. It's just got to be revealed. There's no, we got to get to the stairs. We have to be by the altar. We just have to find the altar, so hopefully it's not too deep in the deck. The villain gains plus 2p health value. There's 2 of us, so she's going to have an additional 4 health. And then it says if a minion has a quest token on it, which that is one of these tokens. So these are quest tokens. These are progress tokens. These are search tokens. Okay. I say that just because I've played this several times and that still confuses me. Like, when do you use what? Progress tokens, generally you're going to use those where you see that 10 right there? That's what you're going to use progress tokens for. Since this is, questioning the minions as a quest deal, we put this token on there, right? And then the features, when we take the search action with our cards for the features, we'll be placing these tokens. And remember, the more times that we search, these go in there and they basically reduce our successes. So it gets, harder and harder to search and find anything. That's what they're for. So that always confused me, so I just want to throw that out there. So when this activates, each hero with advantage card in their third area must either discard 1 progress from it or discard 1 card. If there's no advantage cards in play, draw a villain card. So, number 1, this card is going to make us make it harder to get rid of those advantage cards, or it's going to deplete our hand. But once we get rid of them, we can burn through that villain card deck a lot quicker. I mean, it's 10 successes, so we could get real lucky and roll a bunch of crits and whatever, but, we'll see. So that is the quest card. Awesome, great, wonderful. Remember from previous plays, we have this enhanced tactics. Activate each hero within range of an enemy must either discard a focus or suffer a damage. So this happens, this is an enemy upgrade card, so this happens during the villain step, as I understand it, because it says at the start of the quest, put this in the villain play area. So this will fire during the villain step, and I've got it set up there. Hopefully remember that. And I may have to move this right as the game goes on, but we'll see. Threats. Okay, so we're doing the thralls. Most vampires coexist with the other peoples of Erudicia. However, the thralls, those eternally loyal to the late Count Lorik Morn, yearn for the old ways when their kind ruled all over the lesser beings. So the threat tokens. So these are the thralls. So we've got gargoyles, and we've got vampires, and feral mothers, and all kinds of stuff like that. So the threat tokens. So these dudes right here, right? Well, I guess you need to see the threat tokens there. What do they represent? They represent blood the thralls feed on. Each time a character with a threat token suffers damage from a minion threat card, that character discards a threat token for each damage suffered. For each threat token discarded, the minion heals the damage. If it has no damage, it instead gains one armor token for each threat token discarded. So basically, they're either being healed with these threat tokens, or they're getting armor with these threat tokens. And a lot of their attacks and stuff are going to say, when they not do damage, if any damage is dealt, put a threat token on whoever got damaged. So that's kind of the deal with that. Right. So let's do a very quick, brief overview of our heroes and some of their cards. I'm not going to go into super detail. You'll see that played out as the game goes along. And then we can start with the first round. So let's go to our heroes and see what they've got going on. All right, so let's look at Gavin first. So there's the 2 damage that he has already taken. We got that. Sacred Vestments, he gets his blue to his health. So he starts with 12. That makes him 14. Illuminary Pendant. Basically, we can exhaust it to add some crits, or we can exhaust it with Holy to give his Illumination tokens. You've seen that. Amulet of Fortitude gives him extra checks on his Inflict and Resist. Orange Test, which is pretty good. He's got a 2 on that, so that's pretty decent. Or we can exhaust a stone during one of those tests and gain an additional dice. It just makes those dice a little bit easier. He can exhaust this Valerie's Message card to discard 1 focus to change 1 altar die. So we can kind of manipulate the altars. Vampiric Infection. He has 2 to his health, so now he's at 16 health. And then this is where I've taken the Great Axe because this will let you, number 1, it uses the red, which is his best stat, 3, and it's +1. So his attack is a 4 dice attack. But it targets up to 2 enemies within range 1. So basically, if he can get between 2, then he can hit them both. So I'm planning on trying to make that happen with him. His Tactical Edge and Crimson Eyes, we've already seen that from earlier. So let's go to Willow. All right, Willow, what does she got? So she has a focus from what she did with that test. The Staff of Haunting, that is a purple attack +1. She can deal, so that's 4 because she's got a 3 in that. She can use Dark to deal 1 damage to an enemy in your room and move it up to 2 spaces. I really like that on this because a lot of the enemies potentially can use Dark. So this is a way to maybe re-roll that and not have it in the pool when we go to activate the enemies. Her Bury Loot, that's a trinket. You cannot equip any offhand card. So the reason she doesn't have something else offhand, and the same thing with the Great Axe, is because they're basically 2-handed weapons. The Bury Loot, essentially, she can use that to test and give away her Melody tokens. And you remember her Melody tokens can be used, there's a special thing she has. Her Melody tokens can be used basically as rune effects. So she can activate those runes if maybe they're not in the altar pool. And then if they're on an enemy, essentially if it would activate and you don't want it to activate, you can burn that off the enemy. And that rune effect does not happen, so you don't roll the dice or anything like that. She has a base health of 10. Enchanted Cloak adds 3 to her health value. So she actually has a 13 health. Ring of Intellect, similar to the Amulet of Fortitude, just with intellect tests. She gets to add 1 to her health value because of the decorative urn, so she's got a 14. However, each time you target Winora more with attack, reduce her defense by 1. So she's going to be, once we find Winora, hopefully she will be able to do some serious damage. Mysterious Stone. We can exhaust it to cancel an altar effect. The altar die is not rolled. So again, that could be during activation of a minion. That could be during a quest. During a feature activation. And then favored weapon, that is her advantage card. So that is all of our heroes and what they've got going on. So, right. What do we want to do? Let's start. I'm thinking maybe we kind of go this way and around, so we can go here, 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 and then into here, and then maybe work our way back, just trying to keep it all kind of close. So let's start. Who do we want to start with? Let's start with Ulrich. So we've got our pools rolled here. I've got their cards off screen. I've got everything. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. Remember, we get 3 actions. Let's start kicking some butt and taking some names, and hopefully we're the one kicking the butt and taking the names and not getting kicked ourselves. All right, so let's look at his cards. So he has 2 action cards and a feat card. Remember, feats don't count as actions. We can play those however we want. Yep. So none of these have to do with attacking, and we don't have anybody to attack. And the feat has to do with discarding inspiration. Nobody has that yet, so we won't worry about that yet. However, I think we will use his Luminary Pendant. Because we can roll that. Well, yeah, we can roll the Holy, and everybody within range 5 gets an elimination token. So we're going to do that. That is an exhaust. So I'm going to use these beads to mark that. So that has been done. So both of our heroes get an elimination token. So boom and boom. Now, to be honest, since we got to roll this. There's a dark. Okay, that's something we need to deal with. And I'm going to go ahead and play this Stalwart Commander card. So basically, it says each hero may discard an inspiration to gain a focus and an armor. We're just basically going to go ahead and get rid of that focus that we just did. And we're going to go ahead and gain an armor and a focus for each of our heroes. Just kind of go ahead and get them set up for success, hopefully. So there's that. So both of those elimination tokens come off. Boom, boom. Focus and armor. We may need that for some tests. So, cool. A lot of his stuff has to do with holy exhaustion. We have some stone exhaustion. So, nothing really left we can do with these cards at this point. That was an exhaust and a feat. Neither one of those are actions. We'll take his first action. And let's move him. 3. Maybe I go this. Maybe we go here first. Maybe we do that. The enemies are going to spawn in this spot, by the way. So, no, let's not do that because 1, 2, he just barely gets to the door. At least this way he could go in the door if he needed to. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And the feature's going to be right here. So he's going to go 1, 2, open the door. Boom. All right, so what do we do when we open the door? You know what we do when we open the door. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a feature. and we find the weapon rack. So that's this right here. So the weapon rack is going to go in that room. I'm going to put that over here. And then we're going to draw a card from the quest deck. It says, when revealed, attach this to the room's feature card. The door opens to what obviously used as living quarters by your sworn enemy. The various oddments that occupy the space leave no doubt about your mind. This is where you're sure to learn what you need to know about the enemy's ability to survive through mortal peril. After an initial assessment of the quarters, you can tell there's plenty to discern from. Is plenty to discern from closer inspection if you had the time. Activated here, adjacent to the feature, may discard this card to either place 2 progress on unnatural protection or discard the top of the villain deck. Oh, that is very good. That kind of sucks as far as... So the feature's way over here, but not too shabby. And I'm putting these down here. You will not see these probably going forward just because it's easier to do that. The next thing we do is we got to draw 2 villains. First one, we go to Auric. We have a blue feral mother. We'll spawn in blue feral mother. Boom. Spawns right here. Second is a blue gargoyle. Also spawns close to that. That will go to Willow. Now let me check. Okay, yep, I just had to double check that. So remember, Gavin's card is if a gargoyle lurker, right, is defeated, not if a regular gargoyle. So there you go. So here's the blue. This is also going to spawn there. All right, so he'll go ahead and move in. Man, he doesn't have enough actions. I was really hoping he would have enough actions to get over here. He doesn't have a way to move. Because that would be... Wow, that would be great. Now, what do we want to do? Does his weapon give us anything? Not really. And there's no anything that will let him move. Let's see here. There's an action. Ah! Oh, never mind. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, here we go. We're going to play this. Let's go ahead and go to the battle camp. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That is also the wrong thing. What the heck? There it is. So we're going to go ahead and play this card. So this is going to let us move up to 3 spaces and then attack. We could discard an inspiration. I don't have an inspiration. That's okay. But that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. So he's going to attack with 2. Now the gargoyle does have a defensive 2, so this may... Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, we're still going to do it. We're still going to do it. So what do we got? Alright, so there's a crit and a hit. That is a crit. And a hit. So that's 3 hits. Minus 2 armor. That's 1 damage on to the gargoyle. And that card is an action card. So that's going to get discarded. Yep. That's really all he can do with that. And then he's just going to use, that was the second action. Then he's going to use, these over here. He's going to use his final action to just do a question. That is what he's going to do. So we put a quest token, which is one of these guys, onto Gargoyle to note he's been questioned. We draw a card from the question deck, and it's test red. Awesome. For each success, place a progress on an advantage card in your threat area. Ooh, that is the best one we could have drawn, because guess what his is? And I did shuffle these. His is a 3. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Lots of crits. You know what? Let's go to the next game. Lots of crits. That is not lots of crits. I mean, I'll take any progress I can get. So, 1, 2, 3 progress goes on his favorite weapon. Advantage card. Now, if I'd have thought about it, I could have. If I thought about it, I could have also questioned this one. But, I mean, they both need to question somebody, so I guess doesn't matter. Okay, cool. And also that quest deck, as we cycle through it, because theoretically we could go all the way through it. When we do that, we just shuffle it up and we just keep going through it so that we can get rid of those, as I understand it. Okay. Wow. Cool. 1, 2. Wow, that is his final action, isn't it? Wow. Okay. So he's done. At the end of his turn, he's going to draw a card. He's going to draw Sacred Ground. Basically, range 4, we can do a search, and then everybody within range 4 can discard an inspiration to heal. So that's pretty good. We just got to get that inspiration out there. You know, that is the thing about his weapon, isn't it? No. Sort of. Never mind. I should. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Alright, so that's what it did. That is the end of his turn. We're now going to go to Willow. Willow. What will Willow do? Let's see what Willow's going to do. Willow is going to move in here, basically. So, remember, we do have our 3 actions. There's our 3 actions, and I'm going to put this over here because dark is in there when we were probably going to use that. So first action is a move. 1, 2, 3. Now, we're going to exhaust her card. Oh, no, we can't do that. It's not read. Not within 2. Dang. Okay. We have water. Our enchanted cloak lets us roll that. Use that to gain an armor token. So there's the armor token for her. She now has 2 of those. With a basic 1 defense, that's good. I'm going to reroll. Uh-oh. It's another dark. 1, 2, 3. That's as much as she can go. So that's been used. Right. Range 5. Alright, so the next thing she's going to do is she's going to move 3. She's going to go 1, 2, 3. That's her second action. And then she's going to exhaust. Oof. Oh, man. There are 2 dark. There are 2 dark in the pool, and both of these enemies utilize the dark tokens. So first things first, we're going to use the water in her berry loot. It says choose a hero within range 5 to gain 2 focus. So we're going to do that. We're going to reroll that. Goes to wind. Okay. So we'll give those to Gavin. That utilizes that ability. Within range 2, we'll use her Staff of Haunting. Exhaust. So this is the dark, right? Deal 1 damage to an enemy in your room and move it up to 2 spaces. So we're going to do 1 more damage. We're going to do the gargoyle because that's the only one she can reach. And then move it up to 2 spaces. 1, or actually 1, 2. Kind of want to split the damage, I think. So that ability is used. Boom. Really, oh man, she probably should do progress. What can she question though? Within 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, she could do that. But if she doesn't use, I'm just thinking if she doesn't use, Remember, each share with an advantage card in the threat must either discard a progress or mentor discard a card. We don't want her to discard a card on her turn. So, does she have anything? Inspiring Course. No, that's not going to do us any good. There's a feat. Okay. Oh, here we go. So she's going to play Merry Minstrel. So, let me get it up there where you guys can see it. You need to pause it to look at the card. But basically that card, she's going to test her purple. For each success, you place a melody token on a hero, character card, or enemy card. And then she can spend a... oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't reroll one of these darks. Oh my gosh, it's Holy. There was something that she had Holy, didn't she? No, it wasn't her. Oh no, there is. There's an Expiring Course as an action. Ooh. One, two. I need to wait on that. She is going to do that. So she's going to roll a 3 test. So here's her 3 test. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3 successes with 2 focus. And it says for each success, you may place 1 melody token on a hero, character card, or enemy card. There's no range on this, by the way. So she has 2 focus. I'm actually going to go ahead and use both of those, I think. This is a feat, so it doesn't take an action. So that's going to be a total of 5 melody tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put 1 on each of the enemies. I'm going to give her 2. And then I'm going to give Ulrich 1. Why am I doing that? Well, the next part of the card says choose a hero to perform an action. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those for her to go. She had the Staff of Haunting, so she could attack. So she's gonna perform the attack action. That card gets discarded. And perform the attack action. So that is 4. These are gone. Hopefully that's a good use of our stuff there. So 4 dice. No other kind of additions or anything. So 4. So she gets. Oh wow. Okay. So 2 crits, a hit. Sorry, she's attacking the gargoyle. So I think she can't attack. So that's 2 more. That's 2 crits. That's 2 more dice. Wow. That is another crit. These are 3D printed dice that I just kind of painted a little bit, so they don't look super great, but that's what they are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits and 2 focus. So she doesn't have any focus, so she can't use that. Boom. She's going to gain those 2 focus. She's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. We subtract 2 for the armor. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Subtracts 2 from the armor. So that is 5 hits. Minus 2 is 3 more hits. That is 5 total damage. And that means that, oh, the enemy's defeated. I kind of wasted that melody token, didn't I? Shoot. Didn't even think about that. Oh well. It's defeated. That's the most important part. So remember, when we defeat an enemy, we get a supply token. So here is our supply token. We'll just put that over here. And remember, our supply tokens, we can take a rest action to discard a supply to heal 2 damage. Now, normally for us, wait a minute, I think I've already screwed up. Each here, hold on. Should I have already activated the villain? I think I might should have already activated the villain because it happens at the beginning. The beginning of the phase. Right. Interact. No. Where was that card at? I mean, I know. Am I just totally crazy? On the quest, each in the range of the enemy must either discard a focus or suffer damage. No. That wasn't it. Where was that not the quest? That comes off. Okay, am I just crazy? I know I'm not crazy. Hold on. Okay, I found it. Oops. It is actually discard a tactical edge. Whoops, I forgot to do that. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we activate. Each minion heals 1 damage. If there is no minion play, each character must resist 3 on the purple. So there was no dark, which is the next part of her card. There were no minions. So basically they each have to do a 3 resist purple. So this is Ulrich's. He's got 2 dice. So a crit and that. So that's 2. He wouldn't have had a focus at the time. So he'll get a focus, would have had a focus for that. And he would have taken 1 more damage. Wow. So we got 3 damage on. And then purple resist for Willow. 1, 2, and a focus. Whoop. She probably, I don't know, she had a focus, but I might have used it, so I'm just going to say that she wouldn't have used it. She's going to take 1 damage, or would have taken 1 damage, and gained 2 more focus. Oh, wow. I apologize for that. I completely forgot about that. Since that is not ye old standard stuff there. Okay, so she has 1 action left still. We are going to go ahead and use her exhaust ability, Songs from Home. Place a melody token on a hero character card or enemy card. We do have wind, and we still have wind. She's going to put that on, definitely going to put that on Gavin. So he's got 2 of those. Remember, we have a maximum of 5 focus that we can have, but armor, melody tokens, illumination tokens, no max on that. Wow. Tactical edge. So she is going to use her last action. As much as I wish that I could do an attack, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. But next turn we're definitely gonna be doing a search, so that will be good, I think. What did I just say? Yes, she's gonna interrogate. So we're gonna draw her card. That is an intellect test, which is awesome. She's got a decent intellect. She's got a 2 in intellect, but more importantly, remember she has this ring of intellect. It is a test, right? And it says we can exhaust fire to gain an additional die. Well, guess what? There's fire in the pool. So we're going to use that. By default, we have a 2. So we're going to reroll the fire. And it's going to maintain fire. We're going to get 3 dice. So, let's see what she rolls. Remember, this is all progress. Whatever she rolls. Wow, that is absolutely horrible. Just knowing that we're probably going to lose some of those in the villain minions phase, we're going to go ahead and use 2 of these to make both of those successes. So that is a total of 3 successes, or 3 progress for the purposes of interrogation. So those 3 cards are going to go onto Tactical Edge. Okay, that takes care of that. That was her 3rd action. At the end of her turn, she will draw a card. It is Inspiring Chorus. Let you read that. So basically, oh, she actually already had. Did she have one of those? Yeah, she already had that. So she has 2 of those. So basically, move and get melody tokens, and if you're within 3 of her armor. Yeah. So, cool. That completes the hero turn. We now go to the threat turn. So we start. Yeah, let's see. I guess we're going to start here. Technically, that should be down here, which would have been before him. So we're going to start with each of the heroes. We're going to activate them. First one we're going to activate is going to be Gavin. All right, just a quick shot here to show you. We're going to be activating Crimson Eyes, followed by the Feral Mother, since she's the only one on the board. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And let's see what happens. Go back up top and go from there. So, Crimson Eyes first, draw a lurker card. Well, this is, hey, all right, Gargoyle. So the Gargoyle pulls out first. Let me get that mini. All right, so here we go. Here's this guy. We're going to spawn it in the shadow space. Unfortunately, the shadow space is taken, so we spawn it. And I believe, I mean, it's not really going to matter. Yeah, we're going to spawn it. Oh, mark this. Boom. Yeah, we're going to spawn it there. That was Crimson Eyes. But remember, it says, each time a Gargoyle or Lurker is defeated, the heroes may discard a copy. So, once we defeat this unit, then that copy goes away. Feral Mother acts. Activate Engage. So, finds the nearest enemy, which is going to be Gavin. 1. She's got a range of 1, so she gets Scorched Skin, and then it's Afflict 5 with orange. He is a 2 in orange, and he's got 1 armor. So that's good. Oh, this Gargoyle goes with Gavin. I do not believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I do not believe that Gargoyle will activate. Don't think it activates the turn it comes out. If I'm doing that wrong, let me know. But I don't think that's the case. So let's go to our dice and see what we can do. All right, here we go. Gavin's roll. He has a base of 2. Oh, we know what. He's going to use one of his melody tokens, because he does have that with his pendant. So that melody token goes away. That's exhausted. To add, this is a... oh wait, was it inflict? Hold on a second. It is an inflict. Never mind, he doesn't have to use it to do that. Your inflict test and whatever. Oh, actually, he is going to do that. So he automatically gets an extra die because he got the Amulet of Fortitude on, but he's going to use that melody token to add an additional die. So he's actually rolling his base of 2, plus 1 for his amulet, plus 1 for the one he just spent the melody token for. And it is a... the blue Pharaoh Mother is an inflict 5. Remember, inflict also uses armor. He's got 1 base armor, 1 more armor token. So let's see what happens. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3. There's a crit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have a 5th. Here we go. All right, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he completely blocks it. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 focus tokens, so he'll take the 5th one. Doesn't cost him anything. Doesn't take his token. He is good. Kind of crazy. I understand. That is some melody token used, but hey, he's already got 3 damage on him. Let's try to keep the damage to a minimum. Dark is each character in the enemy rooms gains 1. Each character in the enemy's room gains a threat token, but there is a melody token on her, so we're going to go ahead and use that melody token to keep that dark from firing. And yeah, that's what we're going to do with that. And that is the end of that her. Then we go to Willow. Now, if on the hero's turn there is no threat in their threat area, then they have to... Oh, is it... let me check. I can't remember if it's a lurker card or a threat card. Okay, so I'm in a bit of a conundrum because in the rule book, under threat turn, it doesn't say anything about adding a card to the hero's area. The player aid mentions that, but the rule book doesn't. So I guess I'm going to go with the rule book and action phase, hero actions, test procedure. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm going to go with what it is in the rule book, and the rule book doesn't say that I have to draw a card, so I'm not going to draw a card. That may be wrong, but that's the way we're going to play it, and if that is wrong, I do apologize. But that's what the rule book says. I would go by the rule book. If I had to choose, because this is what I've learned. We recently played Nucleum like 3 or 4 times, and we made some decisions based on the player aid card, and when you went and read the rule book, there was some things on the player aid card that were not clear, that the rule book explained, and if you read just based on the wording of the player aid card, it could be interpreted completely not the way that the rules were actually written and intended. So I'm going to go by, I'm going to go with that and go strictly by what's in the rule book. So again, if that's wrong, I apologize, and but that's what we're doing. So she doesn't have anything. Willow doesn't have anything. The end of the threat turn is done. Then we resolve the activate effect on the enemy card. So each minion heals 1 damage. If there's no minion in play, each character must resist 3. Well, there are minions in play. Unfortunately, there is a dark So we will be doing that. And on the dark, each hero must either discard 1 focus or suffer damage. Well, they both have plenty. Well, Oric's got plenty of focus, but they both have focus, so we're definitely going to do that. Reroll the dark. Okay. Oops. Goes to that. That's actually better. Then activate each hero within range of an enemy must either discard 1 focus or suffer a damage. Well, they're both within range of an enemy. Again, we'll get rid of the focus. That is from the Enhanced Tactics card. And then we draw and resolve 1 villain card. So, Royal Tasters. There is the card if you want to read it. Royal Tasters. Each character adjacent to an enemy suffers 1 damage. Each enemy adjacent to a character heals the damage. Alright, so Auric is adjacent to an enemy. Oh my gosh, he's going to suffer another damage. That brother needs to heal up. So out of his 14, because he's got 12, 13, 14. Yeah, he's got 14. Yikes. Okay, cool. That is that card. That completes the villain turn. Now we go to the encounter turn. Each hero with an advantage card in their threat area must either discard a progress from it or discard a card. Well, we really like our card, so we're just going to go ahead and discard a progress. Actually, are we going to do that? Are we going to do that? No. I think Willow's going to discard a card. Auric. Yeah, Auric is probably going to discard a progress because those 2 cards are pretty decent. Weapon rack. Each hero adjacent to this feature may deal damage to an enemy in this room. Well, they're not. And each hero adjacent to this feature may discard this card to either place 2 progress on unnatural protection, which they don't have, or discard the top card of the villain deck. Again, they have to be adjacent to it, so that completes the encounter turn.